Aloha and welcome to Hawaii Preppers Network 808. As of August 16th, 2023, Maui's Emergency Management Agency's Administrator, Herman Andaya, has resigned, effective immediately. Andaya cited health reasons. Andaya came under heavy criticism and international media attention Wednesday when he said he did not regret the decision to not activate warning sirens as the wildfire flames that eventually destroyed Lahaina began to threaten the historic town. Responding to the reporters' questions at the news conference in Wailuku, Andaya said he did not regret the decision not to sound the sirens because in Hawaii, sirens are used primarily for tsunamis, not for brush fires, and because the public is trained to seek higher ground when the siren goes off. No one in Hawaii is trained for anything when it comes to emergencies and preparedness. No one. So this right there is a flat out lie. Had we sounded the siren that night, we were afraid that the people would have gone Mauka. Now Mauka means mountain, towards the mountain. And if that were the case, they would have gone into the fire, he said. Wednesday was the first time Andaya made a public statement about MEMA's actions during the August 8th crisis. Now folks, no one was prepared for what had taken place on Maui. No one. The people, the government officials, none of them. No one was prepared. Everyone involved did not have the know-how, the knowledge, the skills, and the supplies to prepare them for this disastrous event that occurred on Maui. Now, in the next couple coming days, we will all be witnessing quite a lot of people being slapped with lawsuits. With the very first, the Hawaiian Electric Company here is being slapped with a lawsuit. As preppers, we are pretty much hardwired to prepare for anything and everything as much and as best as we possibly can, having plans, having backup plans, layering those plans as well as layering our preps. Being prepared means being prepared for anything and everything. And this doesn't mean just your basic natural disasters or man-made disasters. This is for everything and anything. Job loss, there's an illness in the family. We prepare for all of these different scenarios because there are very various scenarios that need to be taken care of and need to be prepared for and need to have planned out, especially if you have a family, you have loved ones that you are taking care of, you have seniors in your family that you are taking care of. So you're preparing, all the way around in every and any way that you basically can. Now, how do we prepare? By doing the things that we need to do ahead of the curve, ahead of any storm, any type of different storm that is unforeseeable for all of us. And we do this by stocking up on the basic needs, the basic necessities that we utilize, we use, we consume on a daily basis. Food items, medical items, medicine, gas, oils for the car, everything that we use on a daily basis. Knowing that in each specific location there are many different types of disasters that just occur annually in different states. You have tornadoes, you have floods, you have droughts, you have different types of natural disasters that occur across the United States as well as different countries in different areas. So that is common knowledge to the location as well as to the people that live in that location as well. Therefore, you prepare on those basic necessities ahead of time beforehand. And we all know that when the need arises, the time to prepare has already passed. So at the same hand, along the lines of preparedness, we have plans. We implement many different plans because in between of these plans, in the event that one plan falls through, we go to the next. If that plan falls through, we continue to go to the next and the next, meaning that you're going to need to have multiple plans for any type of disaster or emergency event for you and your family. Knowing that these plans can shift and change at the drop of a hat. So they are, in essence, an adjustable plan that adjusts to your situation and your circumstances as well. Now, regarding the fires in Maui, no one was prepared for anything like this. No one. And they just don't prepare. Nobody's a prepper that I know of in that state. There may be a few. I only know of one individual that is a prepper there. Now, unfortunately, that is just the reality of things. Not everyone prepares for natural disasters and or man-made disasters. Nobody prepares for job loss. No one. You have to be really keen to have that eye where smart in preparing in case you lose your job. But it's just a simple fact, and it's just reality that not everyone is prepared and or going to be prepared. We can prepare the best of our abilities. That's it. We can do everything that we can capably do and are able to do, at least to somewhat alleviate the blow of any particular disaster as best as we can. But when it comes to preparedness, there are several different layers of prepping, and you don't necessarily have to do it all at once. You can do it by category, by food items, by emergency supply items, by gardening and stocking up on seeds to grow in your garden. It's a multi-layer tier process is how I see it. And probably other people do as well, because when you begin to prepare, it can get overwhelming for you, and it can also become costly. When it comes to preparedness, you do everything slow and steady, one day at a time, just a couple items here, perhaps a couple items there, checking in on your short-term, long-term pantries, making sure that you have no holes, filling in those holes and gaps that need to be filled in, that you utilize and consume daily, and just making sure that you have the proper and necessary supplies and emergency items on hand in the event that something pops up. Time that we are living in now, everything and anything is possible and impossible. Everything and anything can occur and not occur. But instead of leaving things up to chance, wouldn't you rather feel a lot secure, or at least somewhat a little secure, in having things put back in your pantries, whether if you have a long-term pantry and or just a short-term pantry, whether you live in a house with 3 bedrooms or whether you live in an apartment or any type of living housing complex? Wouldn't you feel a little bit less uneasy knowing that you have those proper supplies, emergency supplies, and items on hand for you and your family, just in case if something just breaks out all of a sudden. I would think so. But then again, not everyone thinks that way. Not everyone thinks that it'll happen to them until it happens to them. Now, these are the things that all of us preppers know already. That's why we prepare. That's why we just continually to prepare. We're in a continuous state of preparedness. Preparedness is a way of life for us. It's natural. It's something that comes naturally, nothing challenging. But the economy can wear on everyone. The cost of living, the higher prices, all of these things can affect the way that we prepare as well. Now, I don't have to tell you that. You already know that. We already see things going on. That's why we prepare, so we avoid paying those higher prices for those items that was 2 cents yesterday and is $20 today. With the many different layers of prepping and preparing, you'll be able to gain that wisdom and that knowledge on the things that you're going to need, the skills that you are going to have to acquire and gain, and practice, put things into practice, not just yourself, but those that are actually going to be on board with you, perhaps your family members, your children, like that. You're going to implement all of the necessary skills, know-hows, knowledge, practices with your family members, all under one roof. You want everybody to be all on board just in case something happens. And if something happens, immediately they'll know what to do. Immediately it'll kick in. Their instinct will kick in on what they've learned to do at the start of whatever occurs. Now, I can't say that this will be for everyone, because everybody's going to react and or respond differently to their situation and circumstances. It's going to be totally different for everyone, their location, the type of disaster that they're going to be up against and or facing. So that's going to be really, really different. But if you're sitting on the fence and thinking to yourself, I should have prepared, or you're thinking to yourself, I'm thinking of getting into preparing, because you're witnessing in real time in this day and age multiple incidents, multiple disasters and emergency things that are happening and are becoming more frequent now. Just start off slow and steady, and acquire the basics that you use on a daily basis. Just stock up a little at a time, be it water, food, non-perishables. If you need to restock that medical supply kit of yours, that first aid kit of yours, do so. Check it out every so often to make sure nothing has expired, and if it has, change it out for a newer item and put that in and replace it. Just do things slow and steady. You don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars all at once, because eventually you will be spending thousands and thousands of dollars, but it'll be in increments where you are at. So you do it a little at a time, just slowly, and you'll begin to accumulate your food storage. You'll be to accumulate, the stocks that you're going to need just in case. So having that short-term and long-term food storage is something really important, I feel. Especially if you have a big family and you have children. You want to be able to sustain the needs that are necessary for your family to survive on many different levels. Now, keep in mind that everyone's location is totally different, and the situation and circumstances that everyone will be facing with or will come up against in in some time, shape, or form, in some type of natural disaster or man-made disasters. Those would basically dictate how they prepare and the types of items that they're going to need. It's going to be totally different for everyone, wherever they may be, and their location. It won't be the same. The only thing in my mind is that the food, that'll basically be the same. It's like a universal thing, prep wise. Everybody prepares, stocking up on food, canned goods, all the non-perishables, rice, your grains, your beans, your pastas, your soups, and all of these things. But plus two, it's a lot cheaper. Everything is a lot cheaper in the other states than it is for Hawaii. Our state is really high in all the prices, and especially now with the economy and how high everything is. I know that in the States, their prices have rose as well, and they're not used to that, and we're not used to that either here in our state, but it keeps going up and keeps going up. And that's why we prepare, so that we can at least somewhat alleviate and avoid those higher prices, so that we do have those preps before that price goes up. And we also learn from one another. That's the great thing I like about the prepper community. We can seek out one another's assistance, advice, and know-how, and skills, and just everything, and learn from one another, and add to our skill set on things that we may have not had, and or may have been a little bit shaky and not as solid as we'd like it to be. And so that's the thing I really like about the prepper community here on YouTube, because we learn from one another, from each other's information. So guys and gals, this is about it that I have for today. I wanted to take a little bit break from what's going on Maui, because I need to take a break. Things are unfolding even more so, and not the greatest in there. So I'm still keeping my eye on everything that is going on there, and I am still, gathering information, and I will continue to give you reports in and out of these posts that I do make. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. Aloha.